Flecks of zucchini. I picked up some zucchini this week, so I wanted to get started with a delicious, moist zucchini bread. I'm going to need about 1.5 cups of shredded zucchini. I'm going to transfer it to a colander because I'm going to just try to drain out a little bit of the water that's in here. And I'm squeezing out some of the water content just so that you don't have too much of that in the bread itself. The zucchini is here with some of its water content squeezed out. I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour in here. I have half a teaspoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of salt, and then a teaspoon of baking soda, and then 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. Okay, so I just whisk these dry ingredients together, set those aside. So I toasted up some chopped walnuts, about 5 minutes in the oven at 350 degrees. To my bowl, I'm going to add 2 eggs. Get those lightly beaten here. I have 3/4 of a cup of sugar. So whisk that together. Also going to add Greek yogurt. This is going to add extra moistness to the bread. Okay, we're going to whisk the Greek yogurt in. I have corn oil here, 1/2 cup. And a teaspoon of vanilla, right there. Here we go. We have our liquids. I'm going to now add the zucchini. There we go. Now, so there we have our liquid base. I'm going to take my dry ingredients. I want to mix it through, but you don't want to overmix. So you want to get everything mixed together and incorporated. I'm going to add my walnuts here, about 1/2 cup. Our batter, I just coated the bottom of the pan and the sides with corn oil. You can certainly just use a cooking spray of your choice. Transferring this all to the pan. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. This will bake for probably 50 to 60 minutes. So at 45 minutes, I'll check this. I'm going to make a little glaze for the top. I have confectioner's sugar in this bowl here. I'm going to take some milk. Start with a couple of drops. That was probably less than 1/4 cup. You just keep mixing it. You don't think it's enough at first, and then all of a sudden it starts to come together. I want to get all the lumps out. And what I'm also adding is I washed off an orange here. I add a little orange zest and a little squeeze of some orange juice. Here you have a nice orange glaze to go on top of the zucchini bread. And here we have our zucchini bread. A loaf on the cooling rack, and I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes before I remove it from the pan. Okay, I'm going to transfer this over. There you have a freshly baked zucchini bread. Of course, Phil is waiting patiently.
I'm here.
So here's our glaze. We're just going to drizzle it over. The orange zest, just a little brightness of orange flavor. Walnuts. There you have a beautiful homemade zucchini bread. You see the walnuts and the flecks of zucchini, little flecks of orange zest. So good. A perfect little weekend treat. Let's see what Phil thinks.
Nice touch with the coffee especially. Ready? Great for the Yankees and a nap. Thank you, baby.
Thank you. Bye.